If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Altar Call. I am your host, Tane, here to talk to you about Bridgerton Season 4, Episodes 5 to 8. And my guest with me is the Bridgerton expert in books and on screen. It's Aid. Hi, Aid. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I do want to let the people know that we did cover part 1, episodes 1 to 4. It is on the Patreon. It was a bonus episode. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out on patreon.com/AltarCallMAFS. So just wanted to give you that heads up. So back to Aid. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back to talk about lovely Bridgerton.
Yes. So how are we feeling about the second drop?
Oh, I think Season 4 might be the best season they've ever had.
What?
Yeah, I'm a Season 4 lover.
Wow.
Now, I do think part of it goes back to how Benedict's book was my favorite book.
Yes.
And every change that the show made that book better.
Wow.
I actually managed to get a copy from the library, so I actually read it between when we did part 1 and when we did part 2. So I had a quick reread. When I say it's the best, I mean it's the best of the 8 books, and I don't think the 8 books are all that great.
Yeah.
But I do. It was one of my favorite tropes. It was a good storyline. I liked everything actually about it. And I just feel like the show made it better.
What is the trope that you liked? What are specific things that make it the best for you?
Well, I don't mind the Cinderella trope. I don't mind the lowly born girl who's plucky. I like even the things that I really like about the show is, look, when they first started doing their Bridgerton Otherworld, we don't care about race thing, I was like, for this maid thing, they really can't have a black girl. It's just, I don't think we can suffer under the weight of that. But I also think having an East Asian lead,
yeah,
I still think like culturally, I'm not going to speak for a group that I'm not part of, but there is like a Asian submissiveness that exists, and I felt like they did an excellent job in like not playing into that at all. Because I think having a minority woman play the maid is you have to be careful.
Yeah, you're right. But I will confess, I'm not gonna lie to you, that until you mentioned it now, I'm like, that is so true. And I don't know if it's a testament to the way Bridgerton has built its world, where you're able to be in that world and watch their stuff and not think about that. So
it's a credit to them.
Yes.
Because upon reflection, now I'm like, they could have had a black girl be the maid.
Yeah.
They could have.
But I get what you're saying. Like, given everything, it's just like, I don't know. It sounds weird to say. But they've built a world that is great, and we've been enjoying the stories. But I enjoyed it. I don't think that it's my favorite. My Netflix started over from season 1. So I started watching episode 1 again. And I had the same thoughts. And I'm just like, how did the actress who played Daphne, I think her name is Phoebe, how did she get cast? Because I just kept thinking, like, back then, how many years ago was that? Like 4 now?
Oh, more than that. That thing premiered during the pandemic, December 2020.
Wow.
Which means they
Okay.
probably shot it when? 2019?
Yeah. Everyone looks so young too. And anyways, I was just thinking like, oh, you just think with Hollywood, they just want people that stand out. And I remember just thinking like, she just seems so ordinary. So when the queen was like, what did she call her? Oh, I forgot
A
what she said.
diamond of the first
Diamond, you're
water.
flawless or something like that. When she went, and I was like, okay, sure, let's go with that. But yeah, but it's just interesting to see how far it's come. And if I didn't have so much on my plate to watch and so much to do in life, I would rewatch it, you know? It was just nice. And the Duke remains the hottest. Please.
It's okay, I'll give you that.
No contest.
No contest.
And okay, I want to start with a question for you. Shonda Rhimes. We all know Shonda Rhimes. We all know Shondaland. I know her name is on it. She barely just, she comes in, checks in, like other people handle the shows and stuff. When people say Bridgerton, do you consider it an American or British show?
Oh, that's interesting. I think my first thought is that it's a British show. But it's still Shonda.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other part is, trying to figure out her level of involvement is really something, because basically she dips in where she wants to. So from listening to the Bridgerton podcast, which it is a nice listen. I will certainly say that. It's we find out that she wrote the I'm the tea we're having tea, whatever you want to call it. She wrote that.
Wait, what are you referring to?
When oh God. What's the mom's name?
Mrs. Bridgerton?
Mrs. Bridgerton, but that's not what we call her. I keep wanting to say Violet. Yeah, Violet.
Yeah.
And Lord Anderson. You know how she's like, we're having tea. There's all these tea euphemisms.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shonda wrote that tea stuff.
Okay. I mean, I don't think she's a hands-off producer. And it's just by name only. It's just that it's not as heavy as, back in the day, like let's say Grey's, where she was like writing everything, supervising everything. I think she still has final say and looks through things. And it is a Shonda show. But I just was thinking, like, the one thing I think maybe Bridgerton does well is they don't cast, besides the voice of Lady Whistledown, huge famous stars, American stars. Majority, if not all, of the actors are British.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, so is it American or is it British? And I was like,
think it's British. I think of almost all the actors and actresses are British. Although, interestingly, Yaron Ha is New Zealand? Australia? Australian.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like, we'll just go to the British Empire.
We still keep it in the fam.
But even like, I kept on looking at John Sterling's mom, and I was like, I've seen her somewhere before. And I looked it up, and I had on British TV.
What show?
Supercell.
Oh gosh.
And she was on one episode of Call the Midwife.
I don't know what's gonna happen to Supercell, y'all. Getz just got put in prison. Okay, that was my intro to this. Thank you for answering, guys. I'd like to hear what you think. Do you consider this an American show or a British show? I want to start by saying that Benedict and his lady, they're very brazen, very reckless, dare I say. We are just everywhere, anywhere, looking at each other, kissing each other, doing things in the room. Like, guys, are we not scared? Or not
scared enough? But it's like, if you'll recall from part one, something that I was really picky about and really said, I was like, we just can't be like accidentally making a baby all over the place. This is a risky thing to do. What I did appreciate is if we're going to do it, we're going to act like it's a real risk. We're going to be looking at our little calendar like, God, when's my period coming? I liked that.
Keep through. It is like, give me the realistic stuff.
And then people arguing about the internet is a cesspool. But yeah, I appreciated that we had a discussion about the real consequences. We worried about the real consequences. We had duality, because I'm pretty sure on one hand, she's like, please don't let me be pregnant. On the other hand, it would be nice to be pregnant because then that takes my choice away from me and I actually have to be with him, which I kind of want anyway. Yeah. I liked it.
You know, the audacity of expecting an answer to, would you be my mistress, is another brazen thing. But I'm not gonna lie though. He made being a mistress sound so nice. He's just like you be taken care of, you be in a cottage, but he also sounded like a kind of prison.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, look, the way Bridgerton just shows how maids work is
Mhm.
jokes. Like, if you read up on what being a maid or any type of household help was during that time, like,
Mhm.
you are up at like 4 a.m. and you don't stop working till 10 p.m. Like, it's awful. It's so awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being a mistress and not having to work and having staff of your own, my God, it would have been a big up in the world. But
Mhm.
Sophie's not trading in all that for you. Good for her.
Yeah. Um, we got more proof as to why Whistledown should be discreet because they got their own Victorian era stalker when someone just showed up at Penelope's house and was like, "Say this. Why did you say this? Why'd you do this?"
I said it in the first part.
Yeah.
This whole trying to be whistled down while people know who you are, or really the whole storyline altogether. I mean, they wrapped it up this season, which was a
Yeah.
good thing, but it just made no sense. No sense. And honestly, you know, people love to scream about why are Phoebe and Regé not here? They need to recast the Duke. And
I'm
I'm
one
like,
of
what
them.
did Penelope and Colin do this season to justify?
Here's the thing, I'm one of them, but I don't mean it as being in a story. I feel like it's just not realistic that Daphne's gonna miss all these weddings. She was a meddler. She was just
Yeah.
always in there and missed the weddings and also a funeral. And her sister needs her. It's just not realistic that she's gonna miss it. That's just what my angle is.
And I will give them that the same way we mentioned Kate and Anthony, even though they weren't at the funeral. We need a mention. I mean, we mentioned the Duke when we were in court.
Yeah, but there's only so many mentions. We have what A B C D E F G H to go. So everyone we're gonna miss each and every one at some point. It's like, do you even really like us?
I wonder
So
who else is going to drop off come season 5. The weird thing is I'm like, we don't need these people, but it's weird if they're not there. Like, I really, really need season 5 to be Eloise. How's Eloise gonna be somewhere and Penelope not be part of it or not know about it? She's our best
yeah,
friend. I
yeah,
I kind of like what they did with Kate and Anthony this season. Like, let's have you for an
yeah,
episode. Let's have you for the wedding. We don't really need
yeah.
you any more than that.
Is Francesca gonna have her own book?
Yes.
Man, she's being featured last season and this season. She's had like major storylines, so there's more. You
This is
really,
I
yeah,
would like to have happen. I feel like we do Eloise next season.
yeah,
Then Francesca is in her she's still mourning her husband. And
yeah,
I thought it was very okay, you guys, you have to catch this. So during the wedding, when Penelope asked her, "Are you going to have a wedding again?" Or I can't remember if she said, "Are you going to get would you do it again?"
would you
I
do it
think it's all
again? Yeah.
Penelope asked.
Hmm.
She does not say, "I will never be married again." She says, "I will not have a wedding again." I was like, catch that.
Why? Is it a spoiler again?
Well, I don't think it's a spoiler at this point.
Okay, so do we have confirmation that they are going to fully explore this with Michaela?
I feel like I feel like I have confirmation. Then I'm like, wait, do I? I
uh,
guess in Francesca's book, I'm like, wait, that would be a spoiler.
okay, spoiler alert. Three, two, one, hold, and give it a second before you come back. Okay, go.
It's for you too. So Francesca's story is that she ends up after John's death, a couple years later, she ends up with John's cousin Michael. So we have Michaela, who is Michael. So how they're going to do this with I'm going to call it a lesbian storyline, but people might correct me, queer, bi, whatever. We don't know what Francesca is and we don't know what Michaela is, but let's just say it's a same-sex storyline.
Hmm.
And I assume that's going to happen. Otherwise, why would we have Michaela?
So
Why would
that's
we be
my
making references to how in Scotland sometimes women can inherit the title? Because that was the other thing. In the book, Michael inherits John's title.
okay. So the reason why I was asking if we have confirmation that they're fully going to go down that path is yes, we are bending all the rules in Bridgerton, but there's some things that they're not bending, and that includes like even this season with Sophie and Benedict. Like there's a class system. So how do we spin the story to allow for a same-sex relationship and or marriage? That's why I was asking. Like,
In
would that be? Oh, go
in,
ahead.
in history, it's like well established that there were men and women and women actually could get away with it much easier than men in some ways because they didn't have inheritance stuff. But two women would set up a household together, and everybody be like, "Yeah, they're best friends." I mean, I'm like in history, like people will talk about Auntie so and so and her best friend. Like people our age will talk about a relative who had like a same sex best friend, and they lived together. And that you're like, come on, like. So I envisioned that kind of future for Michaela and Francesca, which is why when she was like, "I'm not having a wedding. I've already had my great love." I'm like, great love, understood. Wedding, if you and Michaela are going to set up some sort of life together as a married couple without marriage, because you can't have that, then yeah, you won't have a wedding. But yeah, you'll still have the Michael and Michaela Francesca of it all.
But the whole thing about Bridgerton is like it's all the romance, the yearning, the celebration of love, and all that. I don't see how it's not in the DNA of Bridgerton for them to hide the relationship. So, like, even if they set up shop and it's like, oh, everyone thinks they're friends, but there is a relationship, is it also going to be hidden from the family, from everyone? They basically have to be hidden. That doesn't seem in the DNA of Bridgerton, and that's what I'm going back and forth on. And how are they going to lean into it, or is it going to be a thing of the queen is leading trends and allowing things and changing the laws or things like that? I guess is what I'm getting
You're
at.
right. The whole secret thing is definitely going to be something that maybe they'll change, but it's not even or they'll adapt to the time. I don't know.
They didn't for the main thing. That's those are the things that I'm just trying to see how they're gonna go. But that's why we're not writers. Maybe they'll figure it out, and maybe they will, which makes more sense now. Like you're right, we have to give time for Francesca to mourn and for things to actually like develop and make things happen. So having Eloise kind of makes sense. Um, Watching our loved ones age is one of life's toughest transitions, and a lot of people are part of the sandwich generation where you have to take care of young kids and aging parents. I've been through it, and I've also seen some of my friends overwhelmed trying to balance kids, career, and home while realizing they can't do it all alone. It's a lot to carry. If you don't know where to start, Care.com is here to help you breathe again. You can browse background checked in-home caregivers or explore local senior living communities. At Care.com, you'll find specialized support for everything from meal prep to support for loved ones with dementia, backed by real reviews from families just like yours. And Care.com has safety and hiring tools so you can hire with confidence. Or you can even get a senior care advisor plan and talk to a master's level social worker to build a personalized care plan. I'm partnering with Care.com because it really is an easier way to find help. For a limited time, go to Care.com and use code AltacallMAFS for 20% off your initial Care.com subscription or a senior care advisor plan. That's AltacallMAFS, all one word. With Care.com, start your senior care journey with confidence. Over the course of my life, there have been so many women that have had an impact on my life, whether it's my mom, my aunts, my best friend, or mentors in my career. And I'm sure if you think about it, it's the same for you. But that's no surprise because everyone knows that women are the backbone of the home and society in general. But the many roles that women hold comes with its own pressures and mental load that can be isolating, and that's where therapy comes in. Therapy can help create balance, set healthy boundaries, and support overall well-being for everyone. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 6 million people globally. Your emotional well-being matters. Find support and feel lighter in therapy. Sign up and get 10% off at BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com.
Stitch Fix. Shopping is hard. Let's talk about it.
I don't have time to shop for clothes.
I have to buy everything in 3 sizes to find one that fits. They know me at the post office. Workout wear is my only wear.
Stitch Fix makes shopping easy. Just show your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door. No subscription required, plus free shipping and returns.
Oh, wow. That was easy.
Stitch Fix, online personal styling for everyone. Take your style quiz today at stitchfix.com.
For that to happen. Do you think that that is enough time, or are they going to age up the rest of the siblings like they did for Francesca?
I don't know. I guess in the books it's 2 years between, maybe three. I think 2 years between when John dies and when Francesca remarries.
Well, I say that because I mean you kind of need them. Part of why they age them up is like there are some, sex scenes and things that happen, and it's like they just still look so young, and it's so weird because we've watched them since they were little. So I'm
I
just
I feel like, okay, these people take forever, but I guess they're speeding up a little. So
Mhm.
we don't, I mean, it's 2026. Maybe we get uh Eloise in late 2027. Francesca, same thing. So now we're in 2028. I mean, I think the actors, both not Francesca, Hyacinth and Gregory are like 21. So by the time it's their turn, they might be like 25, 26
I thought Hyacinth was 19.
in real life.
Yeah, she's
Okay, sounds about
21.
right. I
She
don't know.
is.
A lot of people are like recast them, and I'm like, I feel like, can we get through Eloise and Francesca, and then we'll talk about the two of them.
Yeah, she's 19, by the way. Um, okay. Okay. Speaking of Hyacinth, I think that she's what you call boy crazy. I call her boy crazy, but I feel like she's her mother's daughter because I swear all Mrs. Violet Bridgerton thinks about is marriage all day long.
But she took a break a little bit this season to tend to her own garden.
That was the only reason. And even then, she still chose her kids. Let's talk
I
about
don't
that.
think she chose her kids.
Okay, let's talk about that relationship. Lady Bridgerton tried to tell her kids about her man friend, boyfriend. That was very hilarious to me because she just couldn't get it out. And also the age difference between the actors. He's like 43 and she's like in her 50s. But they fit well on screen together.
They did. I thought their relationship was beautiful.
Yeah. So I feel like she wanted to spend more time with her kids, but you're saying that's not the case. What's your view on that?
I think she picked herself.
Oh.
Like, she was just like, wait a second. Being a wife is work. Being a mother
Oh.
is work. I'm already doing mother work. I don't really want to be a wife. I want to be I'm launching them off one by one. Each one grants me more independence, less to do. Like, picking you
Wow.
up is a whole nother task.
Wow, that was not my read at all. My read was like, I like mothering. My kids need me. It doesn't matter how old they are. They have all these things, and I want to be a safe space for them to come to. She tried to tell them about him. It wasn't working for one reason or another. And she's like, I can't be distracted by this. I can't be trying to plan teas and stuff. Like, I'm just going to devote myself to them, and I can't do this right now. That was my read on that.
I also thought it was like, I didn't understand. I kind of blame her, and you can tell me if I'm recalling this incorrectly, but it felt like they were having some good times, and she's the one who was like, oh, I'm not built to be a mistress. So he's like, okay, let's get married. And then she's like, wait a second, I'm not built to do that either. Because I'm like, why couldn't you have just had a little friend? Why did we get to a proposal? Why was that necessary? Like, no, it really, no. Widows at that time period, especially of non-childbearing years, they could have all the fun they wanted. Just had kind of have to be discreet about it. But being a widow was a special kind of freedom in that time because you had your own money. You didn't have no man telling you what to do. You could have, like I said, you could, have affairs, especially if you weren't having kids from those affairs. That was pretty important. Like, he could have stayed her boyfriend, her special friend.
It's funny you say that because the way this world is set up, I will not be surprised. Well, I don't know. I didn't read the books. If she's in her 40s, like they start having kids when they were like 18 or something like that. So, and she's very fertile. She had a lot of kids. So she would have a surprise oops. She'd just be so embarrassed.
I mean, if she has a surprise oops, then it's time to get married. That's really your only option.
Well, it's a shame. Is that the last of him? Like, did this follow the books?
There's no Lord Anderson in the books. There's no hanky panky for Violet in the books, which is another reason why I say the show is better, because I like her having her own life and her own fun.
Yeah. I think
In
that's
fact, there's not even the relationship with Lady Danbury in the books. The relationship with Lady Danbury is actually one that more Penelope has than Violet has.
Penelope. That's so interesting. I do think that that's one of the things that Bridgerton does well is most of the time when shows deviate from the books, they don't do well at all. But Bridgerton does well for when they deviate from the book, or when I find out from you that they're deviating, because I don't know. Then I find that it's not anything where I'm like, oh, they shouldn't have done that. I'm usually like, okay, this works. I liked it. So,
Um,
Mrs. Varley. I only have one. I was just like, God forgive Mrs. Varley for trying to save her job at the expense of Sophie.
but then she swooped right back in. I mean, it's so funny, but that automated roasting spit line, very popular. People are like, she was checking out that.
It's an air fryer for their time.
Varley was great.
Yeah.
She created problems. She solved problems. She really saved the day. And how was she supposed to know? And it wasn't like it was malicious. She just didn't know. And once she knew better, she did better.
Yeah, she did.
And she got her apology out of that hag. So I'm glad for her. And she's back home. And she's in contention for, is she the new Lady Whistledown?
Oh, she's not in contention for me. There's only one person and one person only.
Who do you think it is?
Mrs. Mondrick or Modrick. How do you say her name?
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's the only person I think. She's so smart. She had a good season for someone who did not exist in the books. Oh, just a little anecdote. When Lord Kent, their kid, went for Hyacinth at her ball or whatever it was, and then I think Gregory went for Rochelle, I started cracking up because of that meme. There's a meme that shows someone dancing and it was like a Bridgerton whenever they see a person of color. I'm like, never beating the allegations, y'all.
Gregory's that little girl was so cute. I ended up looking her up. She's 22 years old. Just really short. But that whole thing she was adorable.
Yeah.
Hyacinth's little kids party was great. Like a lot of things came out of there.
Hold on, hey, did you just say little kids party?
I mean,
where's the juice boxes and the party packs?
It had a little bit of that vibe. I mean, was it supposed to be a teenagers party? Is that what it was?
I mean, it wasn't that the party that gave us most of that viral moment of people doing that dance?
Yes,
because the song. So put some respect on Hyacinth's name, Aid.
They saved a lot of money on dancers this year because they just had like so little dancing compared to other seasons.
They had people trotting. All right, let's talk about Francesca and Michaela. Michaela was a little annoying. You can't just show up unannounced and you're just monopolizing his time. I know he's your favorite person. And she was just, at some times, I felt annoyed, like she was trying to prove, like, I know John best. I'm the one who knows him. I do this. I'm like, just respect. I miss him so much. I'm coming here. He understands me. Yes, but also, he's a newly married woman and he's married to an intense woman. So, when she yelled at her, I was like, yeah, do your thing, Francesca. Come on.
Yeah, we were all team Francesca. Oh, we'll just tell the servants not to make breakfast. Just because you came?
Girl. Just
because you came. You're not going to interrupt my household like that. I actually liked that Francesca stood her ground. She's like, I'm not going to let you steamroll me.
Yep. The thing that's good about Francesca is she knows herself and she's okay with it. Like, listen, I'm a little odd. I'm a little intense. I do things the way I do things, but you're not going to make me feel bad about it. It's how I am. And I think that goes a long way. And it helped her in that moment.
When Francesca was so good in this second half.
Yeah.
I loved how she and Michaela made up and became friends.
Yes.
It was lovely. And it made John so happy before he died.
Oh, it did. It did. It just, he was wondering, he was so worried about it. Like, how am I going to fix this? And then, they made up with each other. My friend was like, she can't decide if he's cute or not. And I'm like, I don't know what sorcery they're doing, But this man is not so cute on the show, but off the show, I think he's really cute.
Yeah. Like if you I follow him on Instagram since last season. He's a very attractive man.
Aid wanted to give you a timestamp. She's like, I'm not new to this.
I'm true to this.
People sometimes talk about GLP-1s as a way to cheat weight loss, but what they don't talk about is how they're a powerful healthcare tool that's now becoming more accessible than ever with the new FDA-approved GLP-1 pill now offered at Ro. Starting a GLP-1 journey with a Ro Body membership comes with great benefits, such as 100% online care, access to clinically proven, FDA-approved medications, free insurance check, side effect management, dosing support, and more. With all these benefits, this is what I would use if I ever considered a GLP-1 journey. In addition to the newly approved pill, Ro also offers a full suite of the most effective brand name FDA-approved GLP-1s, all at the lowest cost. Go to ro.co/alter to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/altar to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety. That's ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medication.
I had a thought, but I lost it. Dang it.
Oh, that's what happens as you get older.
Okay, you guys.
Okay.
The song Fields of Gold. I can tell you the exact moment in my life when I first heard that song, and Sting was not singing it. It was Ava Cassidy. It was the 2002 Olympics, and Michelle Kwan sang to Fields of Gold by Ava Cassidy after she lost the gold medal. Oh. She's a beautiful skater. We're all like, she lost the gold medal and she's skating to Fields of Gold. Like, I don't feel emotions, and I might have shed a tear. So that song brings up a lot of emotion for me.
She's not lying, guys.
A lot of emotion for me. And then I saw on the list of songs that they were going to do Fields of Gold, and I was like, oh. I actually went back and watched Michelle Kwan at the 2002 Olympics again. And then these people had the audacity, and I knew what's coming. I know what's coming. And so they play the song with the string version, like with Francesca and John, and I'm like, no, how could you play this song? Anyway.
Thank you for your wisdom nugget, and also thank you for keeping tradition, because would it be an 8 guest spot if we don't get an ice skating reference? So, you know, appreciate it. It was a choice not to show John.
Yes,
it was a choice.
He was there. If you listen to the podcast, he was there.
Yeah, he was there, and they just chose him. I'm sure they had footage, and they just decided last minute we're just not, going to show it. And I'm like, good choice, good choice. I think he was right.
I think what it was is that Francesca did so good that you just need to watch her face to get the moment.
Mm-hmm. I think that is a good choice that they made. We're just here with praises for Bridgerton, but upping changing the actress and aging her up was a good choice, especially with the casting. They just really got someone that was like perfect for this role. And it's a shame that the award bodies think that it's only certain shows. They keep nominating the same shows, and I'm like, there's talent everywhere. Every show doesn't have to be like this serious, so it has to be medical drama. Shout out to The Pit. I have no issues with The Pit. I just thought medical and things like that. But with shows like Bridgerton, there is talent there, and there's absolutely nothing wrong if the actress who plays Francesca gets nominated because the girl is acting. So
I feel like we've talked a lot about not our main stuff, but the Francesca stuff is truly its own story within itself.
Sorry,
Eloise redeemed herself for me in the second half. Sorry?
Oh, you say that, but this was not an issue. It's not an issue for me, but this was my thought in part 1 too, where I'm just like, Sophie and Benedict seem like supporting characters in their own season. And I think that's my issue with it. Again, I had no other words, so I just had to say issue. Because anytime I'm talking to my friends about it, we end up talking about everything else and be like, oh yeah, and then Sophie, and then it's almost like they're the, not afterthought, but the afterthought. They're supporting actors in their own season.
Everything since the first season, though, it's the same complaint. Like, same thing with season 2, season 3, everybody's like, Penelope and Colin were side things. There was too many other storylines going on. There was a whole other wedding in their season. I just like the ensembleness of it all. And trust me, I have plenty to say about episode 8. I just feel like episode 7, they were supporting characters in that episode.
I mean, but who else was had a major storyline in season 3? Francesca.
As I was, Eloise redeemed herself in the second half for me.
Okay.
In many, many, many ways. When she and the biscuits, and what's the flavor of the biscuits at the funeral reception, it's like she was the only person looking at Francesca and actually knowing what she needed in the moment.
Yeah. That was very nice, though.
And that very stupid, weird examination that they did to see if Francesca was pregnant, Eloise, clutch again.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that I got it right. She knew she wasn't pregnant, right? Or she was, actually?
I feel like she said my courses are late by a few days. Well, your husband just died. You're under a lot of stress. That can mess with your period. Or what you actually want is to be pregnant. And so you're like, okay, I'm pregnant.
That was my read.
Yeah, that was my read. She was just really hopeful that she was pregnant.
So why would she go ahead with the examination? Or is just finishing up the lie? Like committing to the lie?
But it's not. I don't think it was a lie. I think she thought she wanted to be pregnant and she thought she was pregnant.
Yeah, that's true. I felt so bad for her.
But because, at that time period, what that man, doctor, messing around with her insides is gonna. You won't know.
Yeah,
like that was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, especially if it was just. The only thing that confused me was when Violet was suddenly like, "Oh, my daughter," and she was like, "Oh, you feel like you know the same thing." I was wondering. I was like, "Is she saying that she knows what it's like to have a miscarriage?" And I was like, I wasn't sure about that part, but for the most part, I was thinking that she was just hoping.
In the book, she has an actual miscarriage.
Oh,
but in the show, there's no miscarriage.
Okay. The Queen and Lady Danbury, how are we feeling the second half?
I'm just trying to figure out why it's so important that Lady Danbury is leaving. I'm like, is this just a storyline for the show? Is she taking a season off?
Nope. Because I looked that up. Because I'm like, someone give me a payoff for this whole thing. And I was like, is she leaving the show? Is she going somewhere? Is there a sabbatical? And they were like, no, they confirmed that she's not going anywhere. She's going to be back. They just wanted to prove, what was it? Something about their friend. Oh, to show the power and balance in their friendship. I was like, there were no other ways?
No. Okay, so she's just taking a nice trip and then she's coming back.
Like by season 5, she'll be back. And
thank the Lord, I was worried.
My trip was so lovely. Thank you.
So, we're hoping she brings somebody back with her who might be important to a future season.
There she go. No spoilers. The Queen was a one-woman hair show. Like they went all out with her hairstyles this season. I mean, they always do, but this season I think it was creative.
Unusual. Like you say that, I couldn't recall a single hairstyle of the Queen.
Are you serious? At some point, she had like a huge giant heart on her head.
Oh, okay. I kind of remember that one because it was braids. You know how I feel about braids. I love me some braids, y'all. But other than that, no, I don't.
Penelope is the embodiment of when someone says heaving bosom. I think that's what I think of. Penelope.
Because her bosom's always out?
They're always heaving.
They are always heaving. She's always breathing a lot.
She always looks startled. Every time she says, oh no. Oh. So there it was. If we're talking about useless returning characters, I'm glad they're there. Like if I had to pick, I'm glad they're there. But Collins was so useless.
So useless.
Nothing. There was nothing for him. Okay, let's talk about Sophie and Benedict. let's talk about that. Araminta, her stepmother. She's another person that did a fantastic job as a villain.
Yes.
She was great. She said she fully enjoyed being a bad character. The 2 stepsisters were great. It was a good season. It was good acting. But
good
overall,
acting. I find Aram. I wish that they could have explained a little more of Araminta's evilness.
Oh, there's more?
Oh, I loved them when they were on the podcast. Katie Leung is Scottish and she's got a Scottish accent and it is just delightful to listen to. Like I really wish that she could play a role where she actually just gets to use her own voice because I'm just her voice just sounds so amazing.
Wow. Okay, I got to check it out and see what it's about. But are you going to tell us about the evilness and where
Yeah,
it
I
comes
was a
from?
little I feel like in the podcast they explained how she was mad that she never gave her husband a child and then Sophie was there and she was a child of his. And I feel like in the show they never actually got around to really explaining that, like, that is why I hate you. I hate you because you are my husband's child and I could never give him one.
So I think that that's interesting that it was on the podcast because I feel like we got a different reason on the show in that scene where everything
Yeah.
culminates, where she's just like, I keep losing everyone and then I lost him and then you were just there and she like almost like she blamed her.
And then, but we established that you hated her on sight though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did actually, that is one mistake I think they made.
Yeah.
I don't think Araminta's motivations were properly explored or explained.
Yeah. It just seemed like I hate this girl. I don't care where she came from, what her story is. So yeah. Okay. There's another useless character, Lord Penwood. I assume he's related to Sophie.
What are you talking about? That's Sophie's dad. Oh, you mean Cressida's husband?
Yes.
Oh, but then we had that's another Eloise redemption moment where I'm like, I love Eloise this season. Because now Eloise's friendship with Cressida is what gets Sophie into the house so she finds the will.
Yes. But he's related to Sophie, right?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, because
they could have explored that a little bit more.
That's exactly where I was leading to. Is like they did not have any like interaction. He just showed up, but for him to
did that man have a speaking line?
No, that's for him to be the owner of the house and the house that they were living in. I'm like, Sophie never saw this man at all, even when she was little, even though they look like they're 5 years apart in age. So it's just explaining what was that about and nothing at all. It was just like a hole that they could have filled.
Yeah, because truth be told, if you're the heir to a man, no matter, and it doesn't matter how old he is, he knows who his heir is. Mm-hmm. They're keeping in touch. His heir is trying to figure out, is the wife pregnant? Have I lost my place? Mm-hmm. And they're family, they're related. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. Mm-hmm. They did not explore that properly. But I guess it would have just been another unnecessary storyline. Like Sophie wasn't looking for family. She was just looking to find out what it was in that will.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, I actually, because they didn't give him anything, I was going to ask you, what should we know about him? Like, was he in the book?
I don't think he's even a featured character in the book.
Okay.
Like, Sophie's father dies. They don't even talk about, like, the title passing or who it passed to. They might, like, make mention of it, but yeah. Like, the whole, everything that sort of comes out in the last episode is, like, one scene in the book and like executed very differently.
Okay. I'm laughing.
But once again, I feel like the show did it better.
Okay.
The show did it better because Sophie has agency and makes things happen. Sophie hatches a plot to go and find the will. In the book, they're all Araminta, Posey, Violet, Benedict, and like I guess the constable are all in the jail. And Benedict comes to get her out of jail. And everything comes out about the will. And actually, this is the one thing I didn't like about the show. Like in the book, Posey like finds her voice and stands up to her mother and is like, I'm the one who gave her the shoe clips. And then the magistrate's like, so she didn't steal anything? So she didn't steal anything. Let's go. So and it's like Posey's like power moment. And they took it from her in the show. And I did not like that.
Oh.
And then Araminta's so hateful that Posey goes and lives with them.
They had to let Benedict be her knight in shining armor.
But you know what? They didn't let Benedict be her. She was her own knight in shining armor. That's what I mean. I love Sophie. She's so plucky. Sophie figures out how to get into the house. Sophie figures out how to, with assistance from her friends, how to read the will. Like in the other one, Benedict and his mom did it all. So I appreciate Sophie being her own knight in shining armor.
Well, I think what I mean is like when they took her to jail, if Bridgerton did not come save her, she would have rotted in jail. And that
Correct.
would have been it. Like, I don't think I realized the clout that the Bridgerton family have. Like, I knew they were powerful, but I'm just like, when you say Bridgerton, people are just like, they stand up straighter and they really respect them when they talk about them. I'm also chuckling because we said, let's go back to Sophie and Benedict, and then we went to somewhere else again and we did not talk about them. Okay, let's actually talk about them. They finally consummate their relationship. And I don't know. I've been watching for the last 3 seasons, and I don't know why I was still surprised when I saw a boob. I was just like, oh no, they're not going to
Because
do
it's
that.
still
This show.
television. You don't expect to see a boob on television. I was the same way. I'm like, they must put it in the contract. Like, you cannot audition for this role unless you are willing to show your boob.
Did Kate didn't show any, did she? I don't think she did.
Oh, maybe
Daphne
she
did.
didn't.
I could be
Daphne
wrong. I mean,
did.
I'm always being corrected. I know
Penelope
Daphne
did.
did. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not. I shouldn't be surprised as long as it's not network TV. And like, imagine if it's like HBO or a streamer, they always want to put it in as much as they can. Okay, that didn't come out right, but it's.
I totally understood what you meant. I knew what you
Okay,
meant.
thank you. But it's also like, all these reports come out that Gen Z people are having less sex than now. People don't want sex scenes and all that stuff. So I don't know. I just saw it and I
Put
was just
those
like,
two things
whoa.
together.
Okay. I
People
don't
having
know.
like sex so wanted less new. I didn't know that there had been some change in how much nudity we want on television.
There was like a whole thing, and then there were articles all around, but I also don't know if it's fact because I don't know what's fact anymore, and everybody has the same brain. You can't have opposing thoughts, so I don't know what's real or not. So,
Okay.
but it was there for a while. Like people were just, talking about it. But yeah, so that's how we got to the part that we talked about at the beginning of the episode where she was worried about being pregnant, and when she finally said that she got her period, I thought she was lying.
Really?
I thought she was lying. I
Meanwhile, I
thought
was just
like she
relieved.
was like, if I tell him that I'm having his baby, this man is not going to let me go for sure. And I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm just going to go away and go to the Americas and we'll be done. So later on, when I found out that she actually wasn't pregnant, that's when the relief came. But I thought she was lying the whole time. I kept looking at that belly like, are they going to put a bump? Is something going to happen? But one thing I am proud of myself, I noticed when her necklace wasn't there anymore. It was there all the time. And then she was sitting and doing something. They hadn't even told us yet. And I noticed her necklace wasn't there. But again, I tell you guys, I'm catastrophic. I just thought that somebody was going to find that necklace cleaning out his room, which I'm just like, so no one cleaned his room the entire time.
That was a big mistake. Y'all people got this whole army of people cleaning all the time, and they didn't notice a whole necklace on Benjamin. No.
Yep. So, and then he just found it because I'm just like, lucky you that you found that. So, I'm happy for them. Is there anything else?
So the whole Benedict finding the necklace,
yeah,
figuring it out. That's not how it happens in the book. In the book, they have these young cousins who they come over and babysit, and then Sophie plays a game where she has to wear like a mask or like a blindfold. She has to wear a blindfold. Mm-hmm. And so Benedict just comes up and sees her in the blindfold, is like, wait, it's her. And then he gets real pissy and real mad at her. That was a good change. I thought that in the show, he's like, I get it. I get why you didn't tell me. In the book, he's all like, how dare you? And I think he won't even speak to her. And that's how she ends up leaving and going. So yeah, that was a good change.
That sounds like Benedict, though. That one scene where he was yelling at his mom, I was like, how dare you? Do you know what Mrs. Bridgerton does for you kids? Stop it.
I mean, on one hand, I was like, how dare you? On the other hand, I was like, man has a point.
I was like, what business. A brat. What a brat.
Stay out of my business. I know you having your tea.
My question is about the voiceover. I thought that it sounded different and I was like, wait, is it still Julie?
Yes. It's still her. But they thought that they made her sound a little bit lower class, which is supposed to give us a clue as to who it could possibly be.
Who do you think? Oh, wait, do you know who it is?
No, I don't know.
Is it in the book?
It's not in
you
the
don't
book.
know?
No, I don't know. It's not in the book. This whole Lady Whistledown II is a complete creation of the show.
I just saw something in my notes. Marcus telling Lady Bridgerton that he's not gonna hang around waiting for her to make a decision. And I wrote, Marcus, know your worth, King.
I thought it was a very pleasant sorry. I thought it was a very pleasant breakup. I wasn't mad at anybody afterwards.
I wasn't. I just, like, it's unfortunate. You had a fine man who was ready to dick you down whenever you wanted to. And I don't know, we got all the way, like, to everything that you said earlier. Let's propose. Let's do this. I want more. And I'm like, you've been googly eyesing each other for how many years? And now we're just like, that's it. I hope he's not gone. He's very nice to look at.
I hope he's not gone either. I'm hoping they can reestablish their relationship and just be good friends. They don't need to get married. They don't need to even live together.
Yeah. But the
Although
thing
I guess
is,
he said he was tired of sneaking around.
If they're not together, though, what is his story? There's none. There's no other.
He has a whole sister. They can revisit that relationship in some way.
Boring.
you don't want it.
It's a romance TV show. Give us the yearning for someone who hates it. But yeah, the butler. I forget his name. The Queen's butler.
Grimsley.
Grimsley, yes. I hope that man gets paid because he has no words. He just stands. That's it.
Like, I am hoping, I don't know what kind of storyline it could have, but I need another, like, Queen Charlotte spin-off type thing.
Mm-hmm. But for who? Him.
Can we have Grimsley? Can we have, like, Violet? Because Violet and Danbury were a big part of the Queen Charlotte story. I'm like, can we get more story from them? This whole discussion about Violet as a child, I'm like, can we get a whole story there? Someone said we could have a whole spin-off of Violet as a child, just like she was telling Benedict about.
Yeah. I could
even do Violet and Edmund, the origin story.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see her reaction every single time she found out she was pregnant. I want to see how they decided, let's go down the alphabet and name our children that way. What do they want for their children and just how in love they were. I think that's a very good idea. But again, Queen Charlotte was a love story gift to Ted Sarandos's mother-in-law. He's the head of Netflix. So I don't know if we can do that again. Her mother really loved Bridgerton, and I think cracked a joke and was just like, haha, it'd be interesting if we saw the story, yada yada, and then they made it happen. It is good to have money. You just say things in jest and then make it a reality. And, she was tragically killed, so I'm glad, she got to enjoy this. So I think
I feel like the second lesson there is no matter how much money you have, tragedy can still come your way.
I mean, yeah, there's that too. But yeah, so I don't know. We got that out of, it's not luck, but it's randomness. So I don't know. Now we can be intent.
I would not mind Queen Charlotte is okay. I said that season 4
is the best.
Queen Charlotte's better than that.
No, Queen Charlotte is better, but it's hard to include it in the seasons. I find that whenever people say it, they're always like, Queen Charlotte is the best. Like, it's almost like we're not even going to put it against the rest of them. It's on its own.
It's a different genre.
What? No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. No. I'm just saying, like, it's so good that people don't want to rank it against all the other seasons. But I find that that's the common way people describe it. Everyone's just like, oh, Queen Charlotte is so good. It's the best of this. Okay, my rankings are, then they start going. But they never say, Queen Charlotte is number 1. It's just like away from it. But I think it's the same genre. I would say that for that.
I mean, I will say that on Threads, I've seen plenty of people rank the show and rank Queen Charlotte as 1.
Threads is unhinged too, so
there's that. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, you're like, oh, I've never seen people. I'm like, I've seen lots of people do that.
I was talking about my real life. So that was it for the highlights. The season ends with a new issue of Whistledown because people don't know that there was a new person.
You stayed for the credits, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we're getting there. But that was how like that ended. Oh, one question before we go. I wanted to ask: in the book, was the queen this hungry for gossip? Was she
I've
this
told you the
bored?
queen is not a character in the book.
Oh yes, you have. You have. I forgot. That's okay. Okay. Because it almost feels like they don't know what to do with her anymore, and it's like give this woman a hobby.
I will also say, because this is part of like the queen and the gossip and the is she a maid? Oh no, she's a cousin. In the books, Araminta goes along with the story that she's told to go along with under threat of bad things.
Mm-hmm.
But like people aren't dumb, and so there's always sort of like a little suspicion about Sophie and Benedict, and so they do end up like retreating to the countryside. They don't come to town
Oh.
that much. They're not outcasts, but they're definitely not incasts, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Bridgerton thinks that they're Marvel now, and there was an after credit scene, but the scene was just the wedding between Sophie and Benedict. And I'm gonna lean on your expertise to let me know why they did that. What was the point?
I mean, why do I think they did that? They will have to tell you why they did that. All I know is that the Reddits and the fandom have been offended since season 2. They're like, oh, so the only Asian lead doesn't get a wedding scene, no wedding dress, we don't get to see their wedding. How rude! How rude! I was like, they before the show even premiered, they were like, if they do to the East Asian what they did to the South Asian with no wedding, I'm gonna be mad. And so I don't know. Maybe they were listening. They're like, okay, we must have a wedding, or these people will kill us.
But they gave them like a hidden wedding. Well, I think
We didn't see Kate and Anthony at any wedding.
yeah, that's true.
And I sort of understand, like, it's romance. You should end with a wedding.
No, they're right about that. But I'm saying, like, yes, they gave a wedding, but it's a hidden wedding. Half the people had turned off their TV until people are like, make sure you stay for the credits. It's not like it was a celebrated out there. Let's just call a spade, Daphne's wedding. But is it the whole maid thing? Is that an excuse? There's no excuse for Canthony, but I'm just saying, what is, again, I ask, what was the point of having an after credits wedding scene?
I think, okay, part of me is like, since they were bullied into doing this after credits wedding, like they were I feel like they were bullied into doing the wedding at all, and that's why they did the after credits. But I loved the wedding. Loved it. I loved that Anthony and Kate actually managed to be there. I loved that all of Sophie's like maid and in-service friends could be there.
Yeah.
The Crabtrees were there. It was a very nice scene. I mean, in terms of story, no, it doesn't add anything. But I'm also like, I'm sorry. At the end of Bridgerton, I'm in like a little bit of a coma. I'm not going to get up. I'm not going to switch off the credits. I'm just going to be like in awe for a minute. And that's what happened. I didn't know there was an after credit scene. I just didn't turn it off. And then it came up and I was like, oh.
I think you kind of answered the question for me. Maybe they had a wedding like this to be able to, for the lower class and upper class to mingle together and be guests at the wedding without feeling weird.
Because yes, and that's why they did it out at my cottage. It was not in London.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And that's my theory. That's my theory.
No, it's right. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. It's just, then we just don't have an answer for why it was an after credits wedding.
Correct. I love that Alfie walked her down the aisle. It made I was so happy. And Hazel and John the footman were just making eyes at each other. Loved it all.
So cute. So that was it. The only thing is like the title credits we saw in memory of Nicholas Bainbridge and Tony Cooper. Looked it up, and they were the scenic artist and unit driver of the show.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
It
was a good. Oh, do you have anything else?
I'm still not sure that we covered Benedict Sophie enough, but I don't really have anything to add.
There is like I don't know what else there is. No, we did. I think we covered all the things. We covered that she stood up for herself and she saved herself. We covered that she had a wedding. We covered that she consummated her love with Benedict. We covered that we thought
we didn't talk about the bathtub, and that's another homage to book readers because they have a bathtub scene in the book that people really like, so they kept it in the show.
That's why we didn't talk about it, because I didn't read the book and I didn't even know it existed. So no, I think we did. I think we covered like a lot of like what was happening with them. I think all in all, as a story, they did good as usual, because at the end of the day, even if you say, oh, it's number 4, number 3, number 2, the one consistent for me is Bridgerton. At the end of the day, is a very enjoyable show.
Yes.
So
I'm tempted to watch it all over again, but once again, who has the time?
yeah, that is the question.
And I'm looking forward to season 5, and it's going to be Eloise. I just have to keep on saying it, and it'll be true.
I'm telling you, I'm going to have to reset my whole brain, because we are watching someone, and I know they try to lay it and set it up for us, someone who's just been like anti-marriage as an establishment. And then when she was sitting with her friends and family and she said something like, oh, it's not that bad. And everyone was like, are you okay? Do you have a temperature? What's going on?
I loved her making up with Cressida. Loved it. Yeah. I loved everything about Cressida being back. Y'all, pink is my favorite color.
Please. I think I was like, we see a familiar face still in her ugly dresses. That's Cressida. I think the lady is it Mondrick or Modric?
We didn't even talk about the Mondriches.
I was gonna say, like, her idea of standing up to Cressida, like standing up Cressida, the queen standing up Cressida at her party, that was kind of mean.
That was so mean. But then in a way, Penelope kind of saved it by like creating a big thing at her. Like, now her party is the one where Whistledown announced that she was retiring. She gave her a moment without really ruining her party.
Yeah, but she also didn't know that was going to happen when she gave the idea. Like, just don't come to her party.
I mean, I'd be forgetting that Cressida was really evil to Penelope. Really evil to Penelope for years.
She sure was.
So sometimes I don't mind her. I mean, I enjoyed her this season. I'm glad she's back and she's actually happy in her pink house. But I had to be reminded, like, wait, Homegirl was actually evil for a while.
Yeah, she was. And just to say, like, Eloise has always been like a good person. Like,
yeah.
Eloise is like a well-rounded character in that she has her flaws, but at her heart of hearts and her core, she's always been like a good friend, a good sister. Yes, she had all the things with Hyacinth, but who's perfect? And they're siblings, it's like, it happens.
I mean, this season was so good. We had Hyacinth poor Hyacinth is the child who never even met her dad. And like facing the idea that you might fall in love and they might die.
Yeah.
Those are such big emotions. So real too.
Trauma. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give you another any last thing. Well, that's all we got. That's all we got for that. That's all I got. So, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the season. If you did, let me know what you think. And that's it. We just sit here and wait till season 5. Is it next year? Have they announced it?
I think they said that they're trying to go a little faster, which means 6 months shorter than our last wait. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, 8, always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, you know where to find me. It is AltaCall MAFS on all of the socials, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, and on Threads. And please give me a 5-star rating anywhere you listen to podcasts, and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
With its 2 juicy beef patties and 3 slices of melted cheese topped with tangy Big Arch sauce, the Big Arch is what happens when you start making a McDonald's burger and never stop. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet, for a limited time.